Should I forward this? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Nurse Week 2018 celebration. Would like to first extend gratitude to the University of Pittsburgh for providing this lovely venue for us and I think an outstanding buffet. So would like to thank everyone for that. Also, appreciation is extended to the Shared Governance, Recognition, and Retention Committee for making this evening possible. I'd like to recognize Gretchen Pesky, the chair, and the Planning Committee, Marge Thomas, Matt Klimchuk, Diane Dunn, is Diane here? And Robin Jennings. Helping them also was Pam Korchak from the Trade Hospital. Now, all of their activity throughout the year is also carried out by the members of Retention and Recognition. Could I have those other members stand up, please? Who else is here with us this evening from the committee? Anyone? There we go. Melanie, Tracy Maher. Thank you. And a call out to the Dynamic Magnet Media team. RN Champage has been a roving photographer for us. You have your cheer team here tonight. This is very good. And RN Chris Kravetsky. Who receives credit for creating the Nurse Week video that's been playing as everyone came in. So I think that was an outstanding tribute to the care team. And Chris is also responsible for the live video feed of this evening's event that is being made available to nurses who are unable to be here in person. So Excela team members working this evening, thank you for assuring care continues during this event. Next, please allow me to introduce some others with us tonight, the Board of Trustee members celebrating with us today. First of all, Board President Dr. Sharon Smith. Our Board Secretary, Dr. Jeff Joseph. Who didn't seem to remember his name, and he has affixed on his lapels, both sides, different Amanda and somebody else. But he is a work in progress, and we're going to continue doing that. Also, other board members, Barbara Hinkle, I think is to be here with us this evening. I don't see Barbara. But Dirk Kelp is here with us. Others here to help us celebrate are CEO Bob Rogalski, our Chief Operating Officer Mike Bush, Laurie English, I think, is here, our Senior VP of Human Resources, and Al Novak is here for development. Okay, all right. Dr. Carol Fox is unable to be with us this evening, but sends her warmest regards to all Excela nurses and care team members. Also, I'd like to acknowledge our vice presidents this evening, Tracy Fick from Frick Hospital, Lana Patterline from Westmoreland Hospital. Marianne Singley was not able to be with us this evening. She and Carol both have children who are being married this weekend. I think it's a little bit of a weak excuse, but we're going to offer that support to them and best wishes to their family. You know, as I was thinking about getting ready for this evening, a couple thoughts. You know, Nurse Week has been celebrated in the United States for the past 64 years, initially starting as an observance of the 100th anniversary of Florence Nightingale's mission to Crimea, and now is celebrated every year from May 6th through May 12th. May 12th is acknowledged as International Nurse Day, chosen because it is Florence Nightingale's birthday. You know, someone recently asked me, who would I like to have lunch with? Some historical figure. And I think Florence Nightingale would be on the top of my list. And I'll tell you why. You know, as most of you know, Florence Nightingale is honored as the founder of modern nursing. What I find particularly fascinating is the fact that Florence disappointed her family, which I come from a large family and I understand that sense of disappointment. But she was a disappointment to her family because she did not follow their plan, which was that she was to get married and host parties. Instead, she ventured out with gusto and using the connections available to her as a member of upper-class British society to get involved in the Crimean War. And as we look back, it was a pivotal moment in history. 1.7 million soldiers fought in that war. 9 million died. The fascinating part of this story is that more soldiers were killed by the conditions of the war, not the bullets. The true impact of that war was realized through the work of a nurse. She went first to the basics. First request was for towels and soap. Sounds like some night shift circulating around. Realizing there was no logic to the operations of the delivery of care being offered to wounded soldiers, she was the first to bring real data collection to medicine. Her efforts created a systematic approach and systems that brought basic care, food, cleanliness, but also realizing the need for the psychosocial aspects of care. Now, those of you all in the arena of healthcare today may have noticed that some things are not working particularly well in today's health system. Time does not permit us to go into a full discussion this evening. However, I could argue that we too are experiencing a pivotal time in history. Patients die because of medical errors, infectious disease, and an opioid crisis. It's a different time, but an equal challenge to move forward with gusto. Time for nurses to think, act, practice, and define health in this country. We must approach it differently than in the past, but our quest is the same. Excellence is not an accident, and we have it at Excela Health. It's an honor and a privilege to be an Excela nurse, and I applaud you and every other nurse in this healthcare organization. Now, it's also my honor to introduce our speaker for this evening, Dr. Karen Drenkard. Karen's resume is deep, broad, and full of accomplishments. You can read details in the bio that's been included with the program. Her passion for nursing sets her apart. Her impact within the professional arena propels her to the top of the leaderboard. Today, her role as Chief Clinical Officer and CNO for Get Well Network puts her in a prime position to support and advise that CEO to advance their mission to help people live their best lives. I love that mission. Professionally, Karen has taken on a multitude of national roles, some international roles, and projects to advance nursing, influence healthcare, and health policy. She is continually sought out as a thought leader, an expert, a mentor, a colleague, and as a friend. If I was to identify a weakness in Karen Drenkard, I'd have to think about that a little bit. But I think it would be that she does not know how to say no, which is a good thing because that's why she's here tonight. To share her thoughts on this year's Nurse Week theme and call to action, Inspire, Innovate, Influence. Please help me to show Karen a warm Excela welcome. You are fabulous. Don't fall.
I felt like Helen was doing a performance evaluation. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for inviting me to be here at Excela Health. Thank you to CEO Bob and Mike and to the board members. It's so important for practicing nurses to know that they have the support at the top of the leadership chain. So this is really a special event. And I'd like to particularly thank everyone who's wearing a flower because really tonight's about you and I'm excited for you. And I know that there's a Nurses Week theme, but I changed it. So, and I worked at the American Nurses Association for 5 years, so imagine what did they do with me. I changed it to say inspire, influence, impact. And so I want to just talk a little bit about 3 things. What does that mean? Who are some examples of that in our lives, and what does it mean to you? So I'm kind of a nerd, so I looked up some terms, but I just want us to have a common understanding of inspiring someone, the urge or ability to do or feel something, maybe something creative. So that's inspire, doing something you wouldn't ordinarily do. Influence. Oh, did I get this wrong already? It's on YouTube. Hey. So let's talk about impact. We'll just jump right to the end. Impact is making a difference and having results. And I think any way we can embrace a new idea is to look at a future possibility, not just the current. That's the only way we're going to create moments of impact. And I think we can, collectively for you all in the region, but also as a country, come up with a better future, a common purpose, where we can collaborate and have creativity and actually flourish as nurses, as care team members, and even as patients. So if you don't think you can have an impact, try going to bed with a mosquito in the room. If you think you're too small to make an impact, that's just not true. And in my experience, many companies have creativity and plenty of technology, but what they lack are the skills to convert these ideas into impact. And there's a great book, it's called Moments of Impact, and Erdl and Solomon say, go ahead, craft your own moment, and when you do, don't be too surprised that when you go through, the door is open. So how do we go about challenging each other to come up with ideas that actually do have an impact? We need tactical execution, of course, but we also need that vision, and we need to push each other. And we have a lot of nurse leaders to look at that had both the ideas and the skills to do just this. So these are my superheroes, and I'd like to just share 3 short stories about that because I am a hockey family, and I know that the game is starting 4 months. These are my superheroes. I have 3 stories, very brief. One is a nurse leader who expanded practice. The second is a chief nurse who cares deeply for the community. And the third is a clinical nurse who went the extra mile. I'd like to just reflect on what did they do and how did they use their influence to impact the profession. And if they could do it, what could we do? What difference could we make? So I'd like to start with Dr. Loretta Ford. In the United States right now, there's over 250,000 advanced practice nurses who are certified. 180,000 are nurse practitioners. These nurses serve the country in every area of rural America, and without question, their practice and the certification of their practice is because of Dr. Loretta Ford. So, Loretta was from Boulder, Colorado, and she said early on in her career, now this goes back a ways, she was an epidemiologist, the sanitation department, and a health inspector. But in title, she was a nurse. She said she did everything from setting up clinics to giving families baby scales, teaching people basic care. And in the 1940s and 1950s in this country, no one was doing this work in our community. And she had only a small cadre of public health nurses, and she realized that if nurses just had a little bit more specialized training, they could make evidence-based decisions that would really impact the health status of people in this country. But let me tell you something else about Loretta. I was fortunate enough to see her finally recognized by her peers about 10 years ago. This woman is a force. She's 97 years old right now. So at the time, she was 87, and she came out on the stage in a Wonder Woman costume. The journey that she had and the challenge that she put forward was most unbelievable, because what she said was, I was rejected by my peers. There was great concern, she said, that the direction that we were taking was trying to become medicine, not nursing. And there were so many prejudices about the way forward that I was literally shunned in the nursing environment. So you can look up Loretta if you don't know much about her. But she said, I was not popular because I was bucking the system. So I learned to be strong. So I just say to you, someone like Loretta, her history is something for us to think about, as so many among us are continuing to serve people in rural areas in primary care through the nurse practitioner program. The second person I want to share a little bit about is the person who just did my performance evaluation. And it's always great when you have a guest speaker and they're handing out evaluation forms as you take the stage. I'm like, you don't have to invite me back. It's okay. But I want to talk a little bit about Helen and her influence. Now, influence is about setting examples. And Albert Schweitzer said, setting examples is not the main thing in influencing others, it's the only thing. And honestly, the key to successful leadership is not really about authority, it's about influence. And there are principles of influence in a fabulous book called The Influence Process, and Helen demonstrates many of these. She's commitment deep, she's consistent. And I have to tell you, when Helen asks you to do something, her graciousness and humility make it impossible to say no. And part of that is because she would never ask you to do something that she wouldn't do herself. And that is part of influence. The other part of influence is people are influenced by people that they like. And genuinely, Helen is true to her word, and it is easy to trust her. And while she has the authority, the influence she exerts is careful. She works hard to eliminate any sense of power gradient. And I first came to know Helen when we both served on NACNEP, which is the National Advisory Council on Nurse Education and Practice, set up by the Secretary of Health and Human Services to guide Congress on nursing and nursing science, education, research, and practice. Helen and I became very good friends. At that time, she was the University of Pittsburgh professor and associate dean for clinical education in the School of Nursing. She herself has experience in the health department. And I just have to give a shout out to your CEO, Bob, because he said, Helen brings the right combination of ability, ambition, experience, and values, as well as clinical expertise and full knowledge of what's going on in the country. I just also have to tell you, if any of you are in school in the room and you need a lit review, just get her list. You'll be fine. She's written so much. She creates spaces. She sets stretch targets. She pushes the envelope, all in a way that is just, you hardly know what's happening. Just this week, she brought 2 members of her team to a national conference to chart the course for your oncology patients. So sometimes I think when you have a national leader as your leader, you don't always realize how lucky you are. She is having and has had a national impact that she's wielding locally here on your behalf to improve quality, to serve people in the community, to set high goals, and to serve the example and the way. And people are watching. People watch. And Helen is someone to watch. And I just want to say thank you so much, Helen, for your leadership. And no, that's okay. Let me tell you what Helen did do. Let me tell you what Helen did do that I really admired. You guys had a pasta bar with red marinara sauce, and she has on a white jacket. I'm like, this is a woman I want to hang out with. On a personal note, and she demonstrated it tonight, Helen's forthright manner and gracious way of delivering feedback is admirable. Wait, did she just tell me I need to do something a little better next time? I mean, she's very gracious, but very direct, and I want to say thank you, Helen, for leading the way. So now let's talk about impact. Maybe you think, how could I possibly be a national level leader? Let me introduce you to Samantha. Samantha was the National Magnet Nurse of the Year award winner for the category of exemplary professional practice. She practices at the University of Colorado Hospital, also a community-based academic medical center. And here's what she did. Just like here in the winter, it's cold in Colorado. She thought that they could do a better job caring for the patients that they saw suffering from frostbite. And so what she did is she volunteered and she set up and started an interprofessional quality improvement team to develop the best practice, evidence-based standardized protocol to treat patients with severe frostbite. And what I love, Florence would have loved, she counts how many fingers and toes she saved so far. So this was just 1 year's of work, 41 fingers and toes that she saved. So, that means there's 41 people, or maybe someone with a finger and a toe, but, there's people walking around with 41 more appendages that they wouldn't have had because of her work. So I just say, think about that in your own practice. What is it that you're working on? And I think it comes to this, be the change. This is what Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change. So the future is ours. We really can't solve the problems that are facing us by thinking about the things that created them. We have to think in different ways. And it really works a lot better when our minds are open. It really does. Being open to new ideas is really important. So based on these 3 exceptional nurse leaders, I'm in the awkward position potentially of giving advice, but that's not what I want to do. I'm going to call it sharing some insights. I don't want to come across as a know-it-all, but I just want to have you think about how can you influence the profession. What can you do? So I love this quote from Ricky Gervais: when people are trying to think about what to do, the best advice I've ever received is no one else knows what they're doing either. So sometimes you just have to take a risk and try some things. So here's the first piece of advice. Figure out what you love. Nursing is such an amazing profession. There are so many areas that you can work in. What do you love? What do you care about? At the end of these tough days, think about why you became a nurse in the first place. What makes you get up the next day to go back in? If you can figure out what you love, you will find the area that where you can make a difference. And then you need to make a plan. And this is hard because sometimes it requires thinking on your days off and on the weekend and talking to people, but make a plan for what you want to do, what your contribution can be. And then talk to people. Talk to all kinds of people. You know, it's hard to talk to new people. It's hard to reach out to other people. Sometimes people in positions of influence and impact feel unreachable. But let me tell you something. For every one of those people, if they gave you a resume of all their failures, it would be equally as long of all their successes. And most times nurses are really happy to talk to other people, especially if you're in the same area of interest. So sometimes the people you think don't want to talk to you are the ones waiting for you to talk to them. So go ahead, be bold, talk to new people. You know, look, when I started school, there was no email. Now, like, who cares? You can send an email. It's great. It's an anonymous, individualized way to reach out to someone. My next piece of advice, completely unsolicited, find a mentor. This takes effort and time, but if you look around and find someone that is interested in your career journey, ask them for advice. Ask someone you admire, see if they are willing to coach you to the next step in your career, no matter what. And if you are in the position at a certain wise age, become a mentor. And I don't care if you're a new grad, be a mentor to a student. It doesn't matter where you are on your journey, there's someone that needs your advice. And even if you're a new grad, at least you know where the linen closet is in the bathroom. And you know, a new grad can do more with a roll of tape and a paper clip than a student who has no idea what's going on. So be good and kind in a learning environment to the next generation. There are many, many aspiring nurse leaders who could use your guidance and advice and your kindness. So return the favor and be a mentor. And just remember, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King, his comment about you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. That's how life is, it unfolds. So take the first step and figure out what is your first step. And then I want to talk a little bit about giving to others. There may be times when you feel like you don't have leadership qualities, so you're like, I have to wait for my manager to die or retire. I mean, I'm here to tell you that isn't a career plan, okay? And, you know, really, you have to think a little differently. So I know no one has time, right? Because there's family, there's responsibilities with school, there's friends, there's life. But, you know, volunteering, finding a way to volunteer, reduces stress, anger, combats depression, increases self-confidence. There's studies all over the place that when you feel depleted and you give to others, you actually become more full. And on the leadership realm, I'll tell you my personal story. I was in that situation. There didn't seem to be any promotable options, so I went to an association meeting. It happened to be Sigma Theta Tau. I went to one meeting, and they asked me to run for vice president. And so I ran for the office, and I was unopposed. And guess what? I won. So, like, I mean, that was one meeting. So really try and figure out how can you influence the profession? What can you do? Where do you have influence as a nurse in your community, in your practice setting? Outside of your current role, where could you bring the voice of nursing to make an impact? And what formal or informal leadership role could you take on right now to share your passion about what you're important about? I was very fortunate. I had a mentor. I just came in from the airport. There was a big sign up from Kaiser Permanente. They have 11 million members across the country. It's a lot of people in our communities. And Dr. Marilyn Chow was the chief nurse of all of Kaiser. And she said to me one time, she was a mentor of mine, and I had a conundrum of some uncertainty. And she said to me, Karen, If you want to be a leader, then lead. And it sounds so simple, but she encouraged people to step out, step up, accomplish something. And the CEO of my current company, you know you've made it when you report to someone younger than you. A cancer survivor, and his mantra for all of us is go big or go home. Do something worthwhile. The bigger you think, you have to think anyway. So think big. Think bigger than you might know. What more can you do to change someone's life in your patient practice, to change the system that you work in, the people that you work with, to create a culture of healing and love? Because that's what nurses bring, healing and love. So what can you do to inspire, influence, and have an impact? I changed the Nurses Week theme. Okay, I'm confident there's a lot you can do, and I look forward to watching and working with you all over time to see the impact that you have. Happy Nurses Week to all the nurses and to all the care associates. Congratulations. I can't wait to hear who the winners are. And thank you, Helen, so much for inviting me to be here.
May I ask the Board of Trustees to also come on the stage? Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Drenkard. That was wonderful and very inspiring. Please. Please. Good evening. No, my name is Gretchen, and I think I stood up and when Dr. Burns was graciously recognizing our Nurse Recognition and Retention Committee, of which I am the chair. And I couldn't help but laugh, Dr. Drenkard, because the first meeting I went to, I was there for a year, and the second year it was like Chris Mansour, and I know you're here somewhere, was going to another committee. There you are. And so Chris asked, would anyone volunteer to take the minutes and to chair the next, facilitate the meeting? And I said, well, I would, and no one else volunteered. So guess what? So we're here. So if you look around the room tonight, you'll see many Excela nurses wearing corsages. And that's because we have so many individuals who have been nominated for awards, and actually 37. So that's wonderful. But each one of you when we interviewed the Cameo award nominees, how much each one of them shared with us that they couldn't have been there without the help of their department and their coworkers. Every one of our 19 Cameos told us that. And that certainly is a tribute to nursing and to the unity and the cohesion in each department. So we should be very proud of that. Your work, your personal attributes, your contributions to the patient experiences have distinguished all of you among the peers, your peers. As I read your name, please stand and remain standing until all the nominees have been presented. And I also ask you, audience, if you'll hold your applause until the end. Cynthia Allison, Janice Barner, Cindy Buchanan, Sabrina Butler. Unfortunately, Sabrina has another job, actually, and is there this evening, so was unable to attend with us. And I talked to her yesterday to make sure she was invited and felt welcomed because she is a new nurse to us. Katie Krovac, Michelle Delancey, Ruth Ann Filetic, Jessica Gillis, Amy Grace, Joan Grote. I saw you, Joan. Where are you? There you are. Okay, good. Brandy Hall, Darla Hall, Sarah Havrilla, Lynn King, Joanne Kintai, Darla Klein, Angela Kolanek, Susan Kolachinsky, Emily Kozak, Melanie Lunko, Lori Magrini, Brandy Martz, Amber Mock, Kimberly Miller, Cindy Patella, Wendy Reynolds, Eleanor Rittenauer. Ellen was the most punctual here this evening, Congratulations, Ellen, for doing the trivia. Kate Rossetti, Angela Scott, Michelle Smatek. Sorry. Good. Mary Trikotis, Amy Worznak. I know he was here. Laura Wilkinson, Amy Wingrove, Melinda Wynn, better known as Molly. Okay, she made this work. Sharon Yansis, and Lori Zadell. So if we can get all of these You can be seated. Our first award this evening is the Cameo of Caring. And if you're new to this event and to new cameos, I'm going to do a little bit of explaining as we move along, because it can be a little bit confusing. But the Cameos of Caring program awards honor exceptional bedside nurses who work in acute care hospitals. The program was established in 1999 in keeping with the University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing to the commitment and the advancement and promotion of the nursing profession. During the first year, 20 hospitals in Western Pennsylvania joined the Cameos of Caring. Cameos of Caring family. Each selected one nurse who demonstrated excellence in nursing care, served as an advocate for patients and families, and embodied the essence of the nursing profession. The Cameos of Caring message has spread beyond the borders of Western Pennsylvania, with several other schools each instituting the award program. Excela Health, through its member hospitals, has been a proud participant in the program for over 15 years. As you know, Excela Health is on a journey, and our Excela Nursing is on a journey to excellence in pursuit of magnet status. As part of our transformation, we continue to promote system thinking and unified healthcare for our communities. As such, this year, we will be sending 2 Cameo awardees to the gala, one representing the acute care setting or the inpatient setting, and one representing the ambulatory care setting or the outpatient setting. It is evident from all the submissions that nursing values we hold dear and the standards to which we aspire shine through. Each nominee truly represents Excela Nursing and all of the work being done to transform clinical practice. It is my privilege to announce our 2018 Cameos of Caring honorees. Will Lori Zeidel and Amber Mock please come and join me on the stage? Let me tell you a little bit about Lori and Amber. Lori is a clinical coordinator on Westmoreland's PCU, 1E. She is considered a model nurse on her unit and in the community, employing a variety of motivational tactics to inspire and lead. Making timely discharges a priority, Lori has been instrumental in educating her coworkers on the importance of transitions, challenging and rewarding her team to promote change and collaborating with physicians to reduce time of discharge. As medical marijuana becomes more widely available, Lori is embracing education for herself and the unit as a participant on the Pharmacy and Therapeutics Committee to ensure safe patient care. Making work fun while accomplishing a goal, Lori facilitated a search and rescue for missing IV pumps and poles. Our COO, Mike Bush, would appreciate that. Right, woohoo! our money man, okay. Spurring her unit on to join the challenge that ultimately resulted in a pizza party for her team's overwhelming success. A mentor to newer nurses, Lori believes in the importance of recognition for a job well done and doesn't shy away from shining a light on her coworkers. We are proud to have Lori represent Excela Health as a Cameo of Caring honoree. Let me tell you a little bit about Amber. What qualities make for an ideal home care and hospice nurse? Kindness, compassion, attentiveness, resourcefulness. All of these and more exist in Amber. And what do patients wish for their nurse? Someone who is in tune with their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs during life's most difficult times. But what a patient desires is also what a coworker needs when the team is regularly dealing with the stress of transitions. Amber is there supporting her coworkers with empathy and encouragement, recognizing their sadness and grief and reminding them of their job well done. Her genuine concern for the patient and family's well-being doesn't end with her shift or the work week. Amber provides that lifeline after hours through visits and calls. And most recently, we were told that Amber, on her day off, went to see a patient who had totally bonded with her, who was dying in one of our nursing facilities. And Amber went on her day off because his last dying wish, literally, was to see Amber. Her patients are always her top priority, and her calling genuine. Congratulations, Amber. We are proud to have you represent Excela Health as a Cameo of Caring. Lori and Amber, tonight is just a foretaste of the event which for all the cameos will be honored in Pittsburgh. As past recipients of Cameo Awards will tell you, it's an awe-inspiring and humbling evening to be part of that gathering. And you will be learning more about that in the months to come. I invite all of our past Cameo recipients, if you're in the audience now, to please stand as we welcome our 2018 additions to this honored membership. Join me in a round of applause for them all. Throughout its history, the Cameos program has expanded to include additional award categories. In 2002, the Cameos of Caring added the Advanced Practice Award, which was debuted to honor nurses practicing at higher levels of patient care and possessing a master's degree. In 2003, the School of Nursing partnered with the Center for Organ Recovery and Education to develop the Cameos of Caring Donate Life Award, recognizing advocacy for organ and tissue donation. In 2006, area schools of nursing joined the program to recognize extraordinary faculty with the Cameos of Caring Nurse Educator Award, bringing the event full circle as the future of nursing depends on the quality of instruction nursing students receive from today's expert nurse educators. In 2011, the program expanded to include the Cameos of Caring Case Management Award. And in 2015, an award for quality and safety was introduced. I am pleased to inform you this year that we have 5 nominees in consideration for these additional honors. Our candidates will be judged by the University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing against other nominees. We will learn later this summer the results of that judging. In the meantime, if you will congratulate them with me. So if you understand that they will not come up to the stage at this moment, but that we will be sending them on to the University of Pittsburgh to enter their judging process. For the advanced practice clinical focus, we have selected Brandy Hall from Frick Hospital. You can remain standing, Brandy. I'll keep you on the spot here. Stand up so everybody can see you. Okay. For the advanced practice management focus, we have selected Wendy Reynolds. You have to stay standing. For the advanced practice quality and safety category, Kate Rossetti. And for the case manager, Susan Koloshinsky. and for the Donate Life Award in collaboration with the Center for Organ Recovery and Education, Cindy Allison. So these stars of ours will move forward to the process of the University of Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Thank you. New to our Nurse Week celebration this year is the public recognition of our Daisy Award recipients. We felt that this forum was an appropriate venue to celebrate those who have been honored with a Daisy Award. Excela Health presented its first Daisy Award in 2014. Tonight, we recognize those individuals and teams who have received the Daisy recognition since 2017. Going forward, we will acknowledge the individuals and teams who received this award at our Nurse Week celebration. The Daisy Award, Disease Attacking the Immune System, was established in 1999 to recognize extraordinary nurses everywhere who make an enormous difference in the lives of so many people by the work they do every day. The award was established by the family of J. Patrick Barnes, who died of complications of idiopathic thrombocytopenia purpura. The Daisy Award is an international program that rewards and celebrates the extraordinary clinical skill and compassionate care given by nurses every day. The honorees are recognized in a ceremony in his or her unit and receive a beautiful certificate, a Daisy Award pin, and a hand-carved stone sculpture entitled A Healer's Touch. I invite those Daisy recipients to stand and be recognized. Natalie Hogue, Marjorie Thomas, Sean Ditch, Candace Dunlap, Pamela Painter, Jeffrey Ian Worth, Lois Wozni, and Arnold Wade. And in addition to the Daisy Award winners, we actually our goal is 6 a year. Every other month, we would have a Daisy Award winner. And sort of the trick about this is that the letters need to be written by a family who you have been the nurse caring for their loved one. So we really want to promote this and spread the word. And in addition to individual awards, we have an annual team award. And this year, the members of the Frick Perioperative Services has received the team award. So I know you're here, so please stand. Next, we have within our own Excela Health system awards beyond and besides the Cameo Award winners. We have outstanding care team members. The outstanding care team members demonstrate putting patients first through their teamwork and respect towards others. They display compassionate approach to patients and families through acts of kindness. They demonstrate a commitment to personal and professional development. They demonstrate a positive attitude, and they communicate effectively with all members of the healthcare team. They provide mentoring to colleagues, and they demonstrate passion for the work they do. Our first award among the outstanding care team members is for a technical partner. Our 2018 recipient is Ellen Rittenauer. Ellen has been a certified nursing assistant for more than 20 years, most recently at the Surgery Center at Excela Square, Norwin. She has undeniable compassion and an energetic personality. Remember, she was the first one here tonight. Where's you, Ellen? And her work ethic is superior, as she often travels elsewhere within the health system, to help during times of low census, volunteering before she is ever asked. Likewise, she has taken personal initiative towards further professional development, working in the GI scope reprocessing room in preparation for certification in this area. She takes her role on the Systems Safety Committee very seriously and ensures that all staff are properly trained, be it on safety data sheets, safe egress, or use of a fire extinguisher. And her safety boards are always on point. Mentor, preceptor, friend, she has a contagious positivity about herself that appeals to coworkers and patients alike. Her passion and professionalism are always evident. Congratulations to our outstanding technical partner, Ellen Burns. Our next award is for the 2018 Outstanding Escort Award, which is presented to Pam Sabat. Patient advocate, mentor, valued colleague, just a few of the words used to describe our outstanding escort. Always smiling, her cheerful attitude is contagious. Patients love her friendliness and her kindness, as she never hesitates to help meet their needs. She is genuine in her comfort and concern, and her empathetic demeanor is welcomed by patients and their families. A resource to her coworkers, she is part of the safety committee and embraces continuous improvement through participation in various lean projects. And she sees beyond her assignments to address unmet needs, rounding on patients when needed, monitoring portable oxygen tank storage areas, and assisting with scheduling. She communicates with staff, patients, and their families easily and professionally, treating all as if they were her family. She makes Excela Health a better place and makes people feel welcomed when they come. Please join us in congratulating Pam from Fifth Hospital. Our next award is the 2018 Outstanding Nursing Service Clerk. This year's honoree is Laura Wilkinson. Of Westmoreland Hospital 3AB. Compassionate, caring, persistent, sincerely engaged, not to mention the delight to speak with on the phone. Her professionalism and personality shine through, providing a lift to callers of all sorts. Exuding Excela pride, she takes her job very seriously, working independently and anticipating needs. She readily answers call bells and fills patient requests, be it an extra washcloth or a heated blanket, allowing other team members to focus on more urgent matters. An active member of the IT committee, she brings back the information that she gains from meetings so the entire team can become more technologically savvy. Never reticent to lend a hand, she seems to have a sixth sense about the unit's needs and goes above and beyond to meet them. Recent preparation for successful administration of chemotherapy is just one example of meeting a need that was never expressed. Her warm heart and considerate personality earn her frequent compliments, and her humility bolsters the team. Please join me in congratulating Laura, our outstanding nursing clerk. Our next award is for the Outstanding LPN. Our honoree this evening is Amy Grace of Latrobe Hospital. Amy works in Latrobe Hospital's Joint Works. Though Amy is new to the Joint Works family, she has grown to be a valued and trusted member of our team. With her can-do attitude and great teamwork skills, her co-workers can always count on her. Every day she arrives on the unit with a smile, despite the challenges the day brings. And that cheerful disposition never fades. Dependable and unfazed by challenges, she is never afraid to learn new things, especially if it means helping her coworkers or providing great care to her patients. That undaunted courage to learn and grow is allowing her to build a wide range of skills that adds to her overall confidence and positive presence. Not one to shy away from added duties, she readily assists with medication administration and admissions for patients who may not be her own, to ensure all patients are as comfortable as possible during their hospital stay. And they leave with a positive experience on the unit. She is an excellent representation of what Excela Health nurses are to team members. Join me in congratulating LPN Amy Grace. He had to make sure Amy came tonight. The Outstanding Nurse Resident Award. The Excela Health Outstanding Nurse Resident Award is presented in recognition of the special skills, dedication, and compassion in the delivery of outstanding direct patient care. Any registered nurse employed across the health system who has graduated from nursing school within the past 2 years and who has completed the Excela Health Nurse Residency Program and exhibits behaviors aligned with the Excela Health Nursing Professional Practice Model of compassion, accountability, respect, and excellence is eligible for this award. I am pleased to announce the 2018 Outstanding Nurse Resident Award to Sabrina Butler.
I am pleased to announce the 2018.
And I'm going to ask Katie Krovac to come down and receive the certificate. Sabrina was unable to be with us this evening. Let me tell you about Sabrina. She received her BSN from IUP, and while completing her degree, she was already becoming based in the Excela way as a technical partner on the West Maryland's PAD.
I'm going to ask Katie
Her Excela clinical rotations broadened her knowledge of the
Sabrina was unable to be with us this evening.
Home care and hospice, critical care and pediatrics.
Let me tell you about
To
Sabrina.
understand Sabrina's
She received her
calling as a
BSN
nurse
from
is to share a
IUP,
story
and while
of
completing her
patient
degree,
advocacy.
she was already becoming versed in the Excela way as a technical
The patient had been
partner on
discharged
West
the month
Maryland's
prior and
2AB.
was still on the unit when
Her
Sabrina
Excela
started work
clinical the next day
due
due
to
to
trouble
trouble with transportation.
When
When
Sabrina
arrived on the unit, she noticed the
instability
instability of his blood pressure from the prior shifts
and
made it her priority to notify the physician to ensure the patient was transported to a skilled nursing facility in a stable condition.
Considering it was the weekend, and there weren't too many other people to help, Sabrina took it upon herself to call mutual aid to reschedule the transportation, allowing time for the physician to stabilize the blood pressure prior to the patient's departure. Sabrina's attention to detail provided the highest level of care for the patient and ultimately prevented a readmission. Sabrina has also been named the CLAB champion for the unit. Please, when you see Sabrina in Joint Works at Latrobe, congratulate her on this wonderful award. Now, what you're all waiting for is who's going to win the 50-50, right? Okay. So we'll ask one of our Board of Trustees, maybe Dr. Joseph will pick it for us.
Number 45.
Well, you better announce it here, loudly.
45.
Oh,
I
number
can't read your
45.
writing.
Number 45. Okay.
Patty and Michelle?
McClellan? Patty McClellan? Who has number 45 on the back? All right, there you are. Okay.
You have won $233.
How many?
233.
You have won $233.
Come get it.
Come on down. Come get your money.
Come get your money. You don't want it, I'll keep it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Should we go on? Okay. You don't want your money?
You can tell me the 50-50 was for a friend of nursing.
The 50-50 is an event this evening to support the Friends of Nursing. So we have a little contribution to make to the Friends of Nursing. The Friend of Nursing Award recognizes a non-nurse member of Excela Health who has demonstrated leadership that has significantly impacted nursing practice, nursing education, nursing administration, and/or patient safety and quality. The criteria for this award: the Friends of Nursing must significantly enhance the image of nursing and help us, publicly advocate for nurses and for the nursing profession, and they must work collaboratively with nursing to create and establish patient-focused processes. This year's 2018 award for the Friends of Nursing is presented to the Excela Health Human Resources Department. I invite all of you to come on stage. You're welcome. Thank you. There will always be a need for nursing professionals. How a healthcare organization identifies these individuals and attracts them to the available opportunities requires collaboration, creativity, and commitment that goes beyond the employment job description to cultivate a career path in a vibrant work environment. Patient satisfaction and clinical outcomes cannot be separated from the recruitment and hiring process, because what is beneficial to nursing is likewise beneficial to those whom nursing serves. The Excela Health Human Resources team is enhancing the image of nursing and addressing community health needs by employing creative techniques to reach prospective candidates and retain new hires. Innovative approaches to recruitment are proving successful. Beyond the traditional job fairs and meets and greets, the Excela recruiters have gone virtual, utilizing social media to reach today's nursing team members at all skill levels. From March Madness to technical partner training, nursing is supported through inventive collaboration that fosters a strong, engaging work environment. An enhanced benefit package that includes loan forgiveness provides additional reasons for nursing team members to choose Excela Health and remain. Heightened communication between the talent acquisition team and clinical directors, as well as active participation in the shared governance model, contribute to building the Excela Health culture. Advocate, partner, always on our side, Human Resources is a true friend of nursing. Thank you. Will all of the winners, and all of you are winners, but those who are designated as the award recipients this evening, kindly stay in the room after when everyone else goes to dessert. We need to get pictures, okay? So Chris needs for me to make that announcement. Okay, congratulations everyone. And I would like to invite Bob Rogalski, our CEO, to the podium to say a few words, please.
Okay, congratulations, everybody. This is my favorite night of the year in terms of these types of celebrations, mostly because of how much respect I have for nursing. It's in the backbone, the heart, and the brain of the inpatient and outpatient organization. And again, without you, we wouldn't be able to achieve the quality goals and targets that we've been hitting recently and keep striving for. So thanks everybody, and I'd ask you all to just give yourselves a round of applause once more. Now let me see, there were a group of awardees, Daisy awardees, that refused to stand. Now I have to call you folks out. Can I get the Daisy awardees to stand, please? Oh, come on, there we go. Alex, it looked like you were doing the wave. It didn't look like you were standing. So I'm really excited this year. I'd have to say the magnet application process is going full speed ahead. I've had the opportunity to go through the process at another organization where I worked, and I think it's an affirmation of the quality, collaboration, and all the attributes of an excellent nursing department. So I would have to say this. I think the journey is more important than the award itself. I really hope we do achieve and get to the point where we can receive the certification, because again, I think it's something I'd like to be able to carry out into the community and to explain to our community how excellent the nursing care is at Excela. But again, that is the piece of paper. It is the countless hours of work that went into the process, the shared governance, the developing of the strategies, the reporting of quality and nurse satisfaction that goes into it, that I think is the real meat of the program. So I think regardless of how the certification turns out, we have upped our game dramatically as a result of being on the journey. So I want to thank all of you who have been on it, and let's I really want the medical staff to help us in understanding the importance of the journey and of the certification. So we've begun education with leadership. It started when Karen did a presentation for us at our leadership group about 2 months ago. And it was one of the best summaries I had ever heard on the value of the magnet program. So starting tomorrow morning at breakfast, we're going to have a little bit of a refresher and summary for certain members of the Board of Trustees and for members of the medical staff. And I've asked some of our medical staff leadership then going forward to get involved, understand what those key attributes are, so that we can have those powers of attraction fresh in their mind to understand how we can continue to build on what we have. I would say that if we had the level of engagement and energy that was in this room tonight in every department, we would have absolutely no problem. So if I can ask you to do one thing, it's to take this out and convert a couple of people who are, not quite highly engaged like you are, but we can save. Some of the ones we can't save, I'm not worried about. You know, we know who they are. We'll get around to them. And with that, I'll just close it out for the night. And thanks, everyone, once again.